Once again, the Department of Justice is being accused of putting politics above equal justice under the law. But this time, the accusations stem from the DOJ not prosecuting a prominent Republican. Despite 2 years of headlines suggesting otherwise, it now seems Congressman Matt Gaetz will not be charged after an investigation into whether the congressman paid for sex with a then 17-year-old girl. Now, a Florida lawyer who provided the DOJ mountains of evidence as part of a plea deal for his client, Gaetz's former pal Joel Greenberg, is fuming. In a court filing last night, the attorney wrote a scathing rebuke to the DOJ comparing their alleged inaction to, quote, Nero fiddling away as Rome burns. The dramatic filing from Fritz Scheller, the lawyer representing Greenberg, suggests the DOJ is giving Gaetz a pass because of who he is. Quote, why hasn't the Department of Justice prosecuted the other individuals, including public figures, who were also involved in Greenberg's offenses? Indeed, Greenberg's plea agreement refers to the involvement of multiple co-conspirators, including individuals involved in his sex offense. Greenberg, a former tax collector for Seminole County, Florida, and one-time friend of Gaetz, pled guilty last year to sex trafficking of a minor and a host of other crimes as part of a cooperation deal with authorities. After agreeing to testify for the government, Scheller was confident in April of last year that Gaetz would be sitting at a defense table.
Based on what my client knows, I'm sure Matt Gaetz is not feeling very comfortable today.
Joel Greenberg clearly flipped on his old friend, Matt Gaetz, but it turns out he also wasn't a particularly credible witness, and he would have been at the heart of any case against Gaetz. According to the Washington Post, Justice Department superiors were told, quote, that a conviction is unlikely due to credibility questions with the two central witnesses. Many in the left-leaning media had presumed that Gaetz, a fierce right-wing partisan who they dislike, would inevitably be prosecuted.
This is a person who has lived a very seedy and shady life. A lot of people think he's a ticking time bomb and that he's radioactive.
There are no good outcomes here, I think, for Matt Gaetz in the future.
I've said for a week now the best thing Matt Gaetz can do is shut up, hire a lawyer, and resign.
The investigation, which was launched by Bill Barr's Justice Department, was not a political hit, but here's the point. Few on both sides want to say, maybe, just maybe, this is another case where the justice system worked. A case that was opened legitimately based on witness accounts, yet there wasn't enough evidence to prove a case. I get that doesn't lead to the lifeblood of cable news, outrage. But it also may be the reality. Gaetz had repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, saying he never paid for sex, saying the only time he ever had sex with a 17-year-old was when he was also 17. Federal grand jury in Orlando heard testimony, including from an ex-girlfriend who was among several women on a trip Gaetz allegedly took to the Bahamas in 2018 that had been of particular interest to investigators. But here's the point. The allegations against Matt Gaetz were not made by corrupt FBI agents or prosecutors, which appears to be the default position for many on the far right. And they likely didn't avoid prosecuting him because he's a prominent Republican, as was suggested in the filing last night, and now which some liberals are claiming. Every day, prosecutors and police have to make tough charging decisions based on evidence presented to them. While many on both sides try to make cases causes, the reality is often far less headline-grabbing and should be more reassuring to all of us. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.